Glucids are ternary compounds formed by hydrogen, carbon and oxygen. They are for the greater part obtained from plants by chlorophyll and photosynthesis. They are divided in two monosaccharides, disaccharides and polysaccharides. Among monosaccharides there are glucose that has a fundamental role in human metabolism, fructose present in fruit, galactose found in mammals' milk, ribose and desoxyribose components of nucleic acids. Disaccharides are obtained through by condensation process with elimination of a water molecule. Among disaccharides there are maltose formed two glucose molecules, saccharose formed by a glucose molecule and a saccharose one, and lactose formed by a glucose molecule and a galactose one. Polysaccharides are large molecules constituted of long chains of monosaccharides. Starch, that is the energy reserve of green plants. Glycogen, the energy reserve of animals, and cellulose, the primary structural compound of green plants. When cells need energy, they free the glucose necessary from starch or glycogen through hydrolysis reaction. Glucose is therefore ready to satisfy the cell's energy need.
Glucids are the basic macronutrients to sustain life. In fact, they supply the human body with 4 kilocalories per gram. Glucids easily break into glucose, whose energy is immediately utilizable, and for this reason is often given to athletes who have to perform a hard strain in few seconds. Not all glucids, however, are immediately used by a human body. For example, human digestion cannot break down cellulose, fruit plants can synthesize it. To avoid damage to the human organism, glucids cannot be oxidized soon after the ingestion. Therefore, except for a part quickly destroyed, the remaining part is stored in glycogen and gathered in the liver. So energy can be gradually distributed. The transformation from the glucose to glycogen helps reduce the storing space and avoid osmotic pressure to increase. So when the human organism needs to oxidize glucose, it demolishes glycogen. Glucids are essential to supply the necessary energy to metabolic functions, so a diet without glucids often causes acidosis and ketosis, the compensation in the acids production and in the use of proteins. When this process is realized, the glucose that is not used by human body is transformed into fat and sent to the adipose tissue. In this tissue, there is the material for the energy supply of the organism, easy to increase, but needing a serious emergency to be consumed. So we can say that glucids in animals and humans have both an energy-producing function and a storing function as well. Lipids are ternary compounds, that is, they are formed of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen atoms. They diversify according to properties and structures. All lipids are hydrophobic and soluble in non-polar solvents like alcohol, ether and acetone. Lipids are found in all animals and plants. Lipids are divided as structural and energy storing. The former do not modify through nutrition, the latter undergo several modifications in order to assure a source of energy. In mammals, they are situated under the skin surface and therefore they have a thermic and mechanic function. Most lipids in nature are triglycerides. They consist of 3 molecules of fatty acids, chain length of carbon atoms combined in a process of condensation with a molecule of the alcohol glyceride. Lipids can be classified as saturated of animal source and unsaturated of plant source. The carbon atoms in the former are linked with 2 hydrogen atoms and do not have a double bond in the fatty acid chain. In the latter, instead, there can be 1 or more double bonds. Triglycerides can be in the solid states, butter, or in the liquid states, vegetable oils. Phospholipids are another type of fats, essential constituents of the cell membrane. Phospholipid molecules have one end which is hydrophobic, water-soluble, and the other which is hydrophilic, water-insoluble. Another important lipid group is represented by steroids. The most important among them is cholesterol, a cell constituent. But a high level of cholesterol in the blood can form a thick head deposit which can clog the arteries, arteriosclerosis. Other important steroids are hormones and vitamins.
Lipids are essential compounds providing energy in the human body. In fact, they are the greatest energy suppliers, followed by glucids and proteins, though they require a longer and slower process. Adipose tissue does not constitute only a calorie storage, but it also functions as a mechanical cushion against bumps and earth insulation. Animal fats, such as butter and lard, contain above all saturated fatty acids, harmful for the organism, whereas vegetable fats contain unsaturated fatty acids. The essential fatty acids are linoleic acid, linolenic acid, and arachidonic acid. These substances in child are responsible for growth. In the adult, they lower the rate of cholesterol in the blood. Lipids have also another importance. They transport fat-soluble vitamins that, without fats, could not be absorbed by the organism.